Your comment made me laugh, man. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I like my power strokes, I do, but we'll only harass you just a little bit for the for the Duramax. Oh my goodness. Well, that said, a lot of what we cover here is just general automotive, logic, right? Let's think about putting beads in our tires instead of using wheel weights. Your tires will last longer. Your front end will be happier. Let's stop using 4140 steel in our front end parts and not the crappy stuff that's coming out of places that are not thinking about the strength of the steel. So we can hook you up with all that, right? But then on your 6.6, I mean, a lot of the 6.6s came with a 105 amp alternator, which is not incredible. At least minimally, oh my goodness, minimally the 145 amp alternator. But I digress. We'll get back to that in a second. For starters, maybe what you want to do is do something proactive with your fuel injection control module. It could be, right? Recognize that the fuel injection control module in the Duramaxes, the rebuildability rate is not as high as the Power Strokes. Power Strokes, 99 out of 100 of them are rebuildable. In the Duramaxes, those numbers are way south of that because people wait too long, and the electrolytic capacitors let their magic smoke out, and now all of a sudden you got a burnt up printed circuit board. So I know it's money. Boy, do I know it's money. I wish it was less money. But our repair process goes ahead and it just proactively replaces a bunch of stuff that likes to fail. And you get to push the magic reset button on life and not have to worry about your electrolytics and all this kind of stuff and having a glorified multi-$1,000 paperweight. So if you wanted to do something proactively on your Duramax, I would say do that. I recognize it's money though, and it's a ticking time bomb for you. I'm so sorry. But if you've got an LB7 or an LY, just recognize the truth of that. You'd be better off long term. If you're going to keep the truck, you're going to sell the truck, don't worry about it. But if you're going to keep the truck, proactively, let's go ahead and have you do something there, and life will just be better. Okay. Sorry, a little early morning coffee here. So the conversation outside of that is recognize the commonalities between your Duramax and the Power Stroke. Specifically, that the alternator really is too small. So we're talking about, this guy here, the 145 amp. Now, if you live in a colder climate, the conversations continue, right? This is the similarities to the Power Stroke now. So there's a huge commercial if you want to save your batteries and just have your alternator last longer, very frankly. Massive commercial to go ahead and do the painful financial choice to upgrade. And to be clear, we're talking about this dude here. It's mid-November 2024. This is $525. But if you were to do this, yes, you would need some cabling, some auxiliary cabling to be able to get this done, which adds to the cost, of course. It's not just the cost of the alternator, but then all of a sudden, this alternator is not spending its life trying to keep up with the Joneses. I think I can, burning itself out, causing supply side voltage funkiness to hit your perfectly and innocent FICM, if you hear what I'm saying. So at any rate, if you got specific questions about your Duramax, put them in the comments below, and we'll get those asked and answered too. We tell people all the time, it's like, we started out as a Ford shop, but if you went the Cummins route or the Duramax route, we might harass you just a little bit, but we'll still take care of you. All right? FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. Have a wonderful day.